when they are consuming your minds and your thoughts and your dreams, from the angels to the demons and to the mysteries unseen, there is no need to worry. There is no need for dread. It's just time to discuss the thing at the foot of the bed.
And happy Halloween. If you're just tuning in, you're listening to 105.3 and 107.7 out of the beautiful city of New Orleans, Louisiana, to the thing at the foot of the bed on United Public Radio Network. You should have given me that ahead of time, Dave. I would have uploaded that.
I forgot I had it.
Okay, so you're listening to the thing at the foot of the bed on United Public Radio Network, otherwise known as UFO Paranormal Radio Network, or just UPRN. Sorry, guys, little discombobulated. I'm thinking, why is our music not playing? And I'm hitting the background instead of the videos we're supposed to play. Anyways, I am one of the hosts of the show here. My name is Lorilei Potvin. I will introduce my amazing co-host in just a few seconds to get our housekeeping things out of the way. I'm a Canadian clairvoyant medium, crystal Reiki energy healer, a Akashic Records practitioner, spiritual teacher and mentor, and registered nurse. I am also the host of my own show on Monday nights here on UPRN called The Angel Rock from 6 to 8 p.m. And we got people in the chat already. We're going to call you out as soon as we get all our little housekeeping things out of the way. Thank you for being here. This is our first, I didn't even ask Dave, but I just planned it. It's in the way of that it's our first annual, I said, Dave, Halloween party online. And if you want to join in that conversation, we got lots of people in the chat already. So where you can head over to is UFO Paranormal Radio and United Public. I see it's got both on there now, on Facebook and YouTube. On our channel, you can go to my amazing co-host David Hanzel's The Spirit Experience on Facebook and his YouTube channel. You can also see it on my YouTube channel, The Angel Rock with Lorilei Potvin, and my profile. And we are streaming to you on our network's TV channel on Roku. It's United Public Radio and United UFO Paranormal and United Public. So if you want to find it, you're going to search. You just actually have to type in UFO space P in the channel store and you will find it. And many of the shows are broadcasting on there, so be sure to check it out. And I always, if you like what you see, please like, share, and subscribe. There's something for everybody on this network. We have over 25 years worth of content. We have multiple shows broadcasting daily. And when we're not broadcasting live, we have the archive server going back 25 years up to present day, plays randomly different shows. There's something for everyone. I'm going to tell you, I know we've got a lot of new hosts and shows coming up very, very soon. Lastly, you saw that little promo I put together. We are having UFO Paranormal host panel party the night of Halloween, October 31st. That's a Tuesday next week. from 8 p.m. to Eastern Standard Time to, we shall see. But it's going to be lots of fun. Anyways, I'm going to introduce my amazing co-host.
Hey, you guys. My name is David Hanzel. I am a spiritual medium, and I am dressed up as a person.
As a medium.
Yeah, I'm dressed up. Yeah, I'm a medium. Woo! No, I'm kidding. I really am. I really am. No, I didn't. I have a hard time wearing makeup, so I couldn't throw anything on. And I was going to do my favorite costume is always when I wear one would be Max from oh my God, why can't I think
Wild
of
Things Are, you said where the wild things are, right?
Where the Wild Things Are, yeah. That was one of my favorite books when I was a kid. And I actually loved the movie. A lot of people didn't like the movie, but I did. I thought it was pretty good.
I enjoyed it. It was cute.
Yeah. It was weird with the voices of the monsters. I didn't quite put the voices to the monsters the way they would have. But other than that, I like the movie. Anyway, I am a spiritual medium and a clairvoyant, clairaudient, clair everything. And tonight we're just going to talk about a lot of spooky stuff. And you know what else I did as a surprise? Because I have this AI that I play with, and I thought beforehand, I'm going to ask AI to write a scary Halloween story about David and Lorilei going to investigate a haunted house, and it did.
So share that.
So I'll read it. Yeah, I'll read it. I'm not going to read it too much. I read a little bit of it, but it's not super long. I told them to write a short story. But it looks really quite interesting, except for the fact I think there's a part in it looks like David and Lorilei are a little frightened in this haunted house, which
that wouldn't happen.
That wouldn't happen.
I ain't scared of no ghosts.
Yeah, Ghostbusters. No, well, I won't say because I've been on investigations where I had, jump scares. I mean, if something were to fall behind me in the dark, I'd probably go, "What the hell was that?"
Well, before you start, okay, so I was looking at scary videos, and I have wonderful neighbors. My neighbor, I believe, has a new girlfriend, and I guess she was dropping something off over lunch. She wasn't home, and I hadn't really met her. And I'm sitting on the front steps, and I'm checking out videos, and there was a jump scare, one of them, and I go, "Ah!" And I scream, and she looks over and goes, "Sorry, watching scary videos." Yeah.
It's funny.
Well, I felt like a weirdo.
That's the only thing that I like about Halloween. But yeah, I'm one of those weird people, though. I'd wear a costume in the middle of July if I felt like it. I just
no.
Yeah, I don't care. And I've got my some other co-hosts. I got these ghosts here: Ghost 1, Ghost 2, Ghost 3, Pumpkin. And you can't see my
mansion.
And you can't see my sign though. It says fortune teller, palm reading, past, present, and future.
I think I have that one. I was going to decorate because this wall's quite blank. This is actually a curtain. And because I put my green screen up, I was telling Dave before, and I thought, why don't we try the green screen tonight? It's really cool backgrounds, but it really competes with the bandwidth. And it's cloudy here. It's been miserable. And I thought, no, we don't need that if we want to share something. So it's up here. You know what I will show you? I didn't even show you this. And you can't see it. I have to. I made this, but what it is, okay,
that's beautiful.
A rib cage in the back, and you're supposed to be able to tuck flowers in. I don't know how you're supposed to see them, but it's got all little eating things. And then, of course, our co-host tonight too, Murray Peterson, has his own little hat on tonight too. I made him a hat.
And then I have
yes.
I have what I call my mother. No, my mom's not a witch. You know what? You know what though? This is funny, and this is what's weird in my family. Me and my mom. I grew up, with a lot of activity in the house, and I was the kid who they, did all the stuff too, which is fine. But as I got older, when I was around, it was somewhere after the time where I saw my first. When I saw this apparition, this apparition was like a real apparition. It was there. It was, you could have almost touched it. After the scares and everything, when I would come in at night, my mom used to hide around the corner and she would scare me. And then I would scare her. That was the game we would do. It was absolutely sick. Because
if you had fun and you were both in agreement, I guess it's okay.
No, gosh, not really, because it was, oh my gosh, sometimes I would come home. I was like 18, 19 at the time, and I worked at this bar down the road. And I'd come in at like 3 a.m. It'd be all dark in the house. And I would walk in and I wouldn't, turn on the lights or anything. I'd just use like my lighter. At the time I smoked cigarettes. And so I would use my lighter to walk through the house, and she would freaking run around, jump her off from the corner and just go rah and scare me. And then I would get her back later on. And then this just went back and forth. And it got to the point where you're just afraid to walk in the house at any point, because people were just going to jump out and scare you.
My
That's the kind
brother
of
did that. Yeah, my brother did that, and I did. That's why I don't like them. But you know what I forgot to shout out? I always shout out. We're going to say hi in just a minute. Dave, anytime you want to read the AI story, I think that's a great idea. We were even talking about doing some ITC tonight, even, guys. We may do that as well. We're just going to go with the flow and see where spirit sends us. So I wanted to
say hi to everybody quick.
Okay, well, let me just mention these channels. First of all, I always give them a shout out. I give Grizzly True Crime, love them, Gisela K. Check out the Alan Greenberg case, please. I could not remember poor Gavin's name when I was mentioning it on the Angel Rock. If you want to know about the details of the case, it's on gavinfish.com, as well as Grizzly True Crime has a whole playlist going through all the details. This poor girl's family needs a lot of help. There's something rotten in Philadelphia, we'll say, and her death was labeled a unaliving by her own hand, and she had 20 stab wounds, 10 to the front, 10 to the back. But the thing that just gets me, the nurse and me, 2 of those, the worst of them to the back of the scalp, were she supposedly obtained them, we'll say. When I say supposedly, she is where I'm going with this, after she died. I don't know anybody that can stab themselves after they've died. I really don't.
It's a talent that I don't think many people have.
No, and the problem is her family, Josh and Sandy, her parents, are getting older. This was their only child. She was an adult. She was engaged to be married. There's a lot of stuff going on, and this case needs attention. These people have spent over $500,000. They're just even willing to accept if they will reverse the decision of cause of death is unknown, but they would ideally, this case needs to be reopened and justice needs to be done. And the other channel I love is Surviving the Survivor with Josh Waldman. Great group of friends and people there. Hashtag he's got best guests in true crime. That's how I know Dam Rogers. I've met her from both those places. Lastly, because we're doing paranormal and spooky, love. If you ever want to check, I think the Foreman brothers are awesome. You got Paranormal Nightmare. They usually do the recorded show on the Friday. They release it on YouTube, and they interact with the people there. Saturdays, they'll take you live while they're filming. And then the Paranormal Files and even Twin Paranormal. These guys are up and coming. Get a little hyper when activity happens. I'll warn you about that, but I think their hearts are in the right place. I think we need to give people a shout out, up and comers. So let's say hello, Dave. Who you want to start?
Oh my goodness. Let's go down the thing. Annie's in. Hello, Annie. Hi, Howie. Hi, John Ross. Hi, Dem Rogers. Hi, Nicole Thomas Ryan. Hi, Ken Stuckla. You're like Dracula, but it's Stuckula.
I went to high school with Ken, and we forgot Howie. You forgot Howie.
I didn't get to Howie yet. Howie.
Oh, okay.
And Sandra. Yeah, I skipped it because I know I had Howie like several times, and I had.
Oh, okay. I should have known.
That's okay. It's okay. I hope you guys are all doing well so far. And anybody else just listening who doesn't want to say who they are, hello to you as well.
Nicole says she loves Twin Paranormal. I do too, because I think those guys' hearts are in the right place. And the reason
I never heard of it. Yeah.
They're the only twins, identical twins in the paranormal. And these guys have built up. I remember watching them.
Well,
and they had
the Booth brothers. The Booth brothers are twins as well.
Identical?
I don't know. Oh, maybe not. Maybe they're not.
These guys are identical. It's River and Ryan and their best friend, Garrett. No, Wyatt. Sorry, Wyatt. Why am I having such a problem with names tonight? Sorry, guys. And I've watched them. They barely had 10,000 followers, and they are on their way to 800,000. I watched the Paranormal Files with Colin Brown the other night. That was a crazy video. I got to tell you, that kid, I give him so much credit. He investigates with his family. And it was a 3-hour documentary, usually puts out every week. The activity and the stuff that happened, I'm trying to remember where they investigated, but they broke a record for live audience. There were over 7 million people live. I want to say 7. It was a huge number. No, maybe 700,000. I don't know what it was, but it was a huge number for him. They broke a record. So check them out. Check them out for sure. So Howie says he wears a costume in July. And let's see. Howie says, let's party. Let me run home and get my gear. Well, we may have some people on tonight. If you guys want to, if we're going to do some ITC, or you've got some questions, or most of the people we know in the chat here anyways, we're not being, just exclusive or anything like that. But if we know you and you're here, then we'll see where the show goes. We might be able to bring you on.
Yes. Tonight we're going to break our own rule and probably pop some people on as we go through the show for this special thing. So if anybody has anything or suggests something, go for it. Just let us know. Who is that again that broke the record? Who is that again?
Paranormal Files. I don't think it was 7 million. Now that I think of it, but it was a record. I want to say 70,000. He had in 9 years of being on YouTube, and it was actually his anniversary for 9 years being on YouTube. It's Colin Browen, and his father will investigate him. He used to be an ophthalmologist. He's so cool. His name's Jeff, but everybody calls him Papa Spooks. And in this investigation, his mama was there with him too. She's Mama Spooks or Mary. And then his brother-in-law, Connor. His wife used to go out and investigate with him. I find she doesn't do that so much anymore. I haven't asked why, but I know you did, Dan Rogers, and I need to give you guys a heads up. I had plans on Monday night to do a solo show. Then I had a friend who you guys are going to love. I've had her on my shows since before I did my previous network. Her name is Varla Ventura. Howie, I'm sure we'll know who that is. You guys, you could listen to her for hours and never be bored. She writes about the strange, the unusual, the paranormal, werewolves, vampires, fairies, mermaids, banshees. Believe me, it's going to be an amazing show. So we will get to those stories. Don't you worry. But I did see them, and thank you for sending them in for everybody that did.
So I think, did you pull some? I had some videos, but I didn't send them to you. I'll let you pull those in, because some of the ones I did, I was like, as I looked at them, I'm like, I don't think those are scary.
Okay, let me
but hey, do you want me to start off by reading the scary AI story?
Yeah, go ahead while I'm setting things up. That would be great. Thank you.
Okay, so while Lorilei sets things up, I have an assist that I use. Sometimes I write so much and I use it to correct my stuff. But anyway, I didn't plug in anything special to it. All I said was to write a scary Halloween story, and I said the characters' names are David and Lorilei, and the show is our show is The Thing at the Foot of the Bed, and just kind of scary podcast story to see what it would come up with. This is what it has come up with. So as I'm reading it, this is my first time as well. Okay, so the title of this scary story is The Silent Whispers of Echo House. Ooh, that's where we went to investigate at Echo House. If you guys heard of it, billions of murders happen there, one every day for 17 years. So it's filled with ghosts. But anyway, so here we go. Podcast hosts David and Lorilei had a popular show called The Thing at the Foot of the Bed, where they investigated supposedly haunted locations worldwide, debunking myths with science and humor. They actually, this thing knows us, and we didn't even... This Halloween, they decided to do a special live episode from the infamous Echo House, a deteriorated mansion with a chilling reputation on the outskirts of their town. The plan was simple: spend the night in the house recording their experiences for their listeners. On Halloween night, they set up their microphones and began broadcasting. Yeah. The house creaked and groaned around them as they joked about the spooky ambience. As the night wore on, they moved to different rooms, narrating their experiences, making light of the shadows of the creeping chill. Their light-hearted banter filled the empty mansion was interrupted when Lorilei said, "Did you hear that, David?" "What?" David asked. "I did." Pausing. In the background, their listeners could hear a faint, eerie whisper like a breathy chant in an unknown language. "That wasn't you?" Lorilei asked, her voice a mix of fear and disbelief. David affirmed that it wasn't him, and their banter was replaced with an uneasy silence. The whispers grew louder, surrounding them in an eerie cacophony, whatever that would be. Their listeners hooked to the live broadcast could only imagine the terror as David and Lorilei decided to find the source of the whispers. That's something we would do.
Yes.
We're stupid. It's just push that bloody knife aside and go in that room and look.
Yeah.
So they followed the sound to a sealed off room in the basement. Of course, with some effort, they managed to force the door open. It was Lorilei, not David. I couldn't force open a pickle jar. So revealing a room filled with antique recording equipment. The whispers abruptly stopped the moment they entered the room, leaving an unsettling silence. The room was cold and the air felt thick with a sense of dread. In the middle of the room was an old dust-covered phonograph, its needle frozen on an ancient, worn-out vinyl record. Lorilei, feeling a strange pull, of course, reached out and placed the needle back to the start of the record.
Of course I did.
Voice, of course you did, Lorilei.
I was playing Rush before we started, you guys.
I know, and now we're playing screwy stuff. So the whispering voices began again, louder this time, and were accompanied by a chilling wind that swept through the room, causing them both to shiver. Suddenly, the recording equipment around them sprang to life. The speakers crackled and began to play back their own voices from earlier in the night. Their jovial laughter, how sounding eerily mocking in the gloom. The whispered voices from the phonograph seemed to be responding to their recorded voices, creating a terrifying dialogue between the living and the unknown. Terrified, they decided to end the live broadcast and leave the house. As they packed their equipment, the whispers grew in a furious crescendo, and then suddenly everything went silent. The house was just an old, quiet mansion once again. Back at their studio, we have a studio now. David and Lorilei played the recording of the night. To their horror, the whispers were still present in their audio, but now they could understand them. The voices were saying, "Welcome home," over and over again. Afterwards, they never spoke of that night, but their listeners swear that sometimes during the quiet moments in their podcast, they can still hear those whispering voices in the background, a chilling reminder of the Halloween night at the Echo House.
That was excellent. Honestly, that was so good, and you didn't have
It wasn't too bad, and it actually doesn't know us, and it actually picked out one. It kept referring to whispers. My website is theywhispertome.com because I hear everything like a whisper.
Yeah,
and it just made us funny, this is actually probably how we would act, except for the really in real life. Dave and Lorilei would have sat in that room, pulled up chairs, and started chatting with them.
Yes.
That's exactly what would have happened. I guarantee you that would have happened.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we wouldn't have been scared. Absolutely. And they would have said, "Welcome home." And we said, "Well, thanks."
Okay, so speaking of that, that's what reminded me. So I was using, I know a lot of people don't care for apps on the phone. I've seen some interesting results with this app. They are paranormal investigators. Let me pull up the name so I get it proper. So I was trying it out before, and I had the camera on me. I hadn't turned it around to just look at the surroundings. Let me get the name of it. I want to make sure I got the right name here. It is Ghost 2. And as I'm playing it, all of a sudden the voice comes through and says, "Rest in peace." And I did have something sad happen today with a kitty, not my own. Long story. We'll get into it. But then I thought about it. My phone is staring at my face. I was supposed to look like a skull. Like, there's no way they actually thought that I was dead, did they? Like, rest in peace.
That's hilarious.
I thought it was funny. I did. And then they have a new app. And where I've seen this used, because I was like, what the heck is this thing they're using? And again, I'm going to go back to Paranormal Nightmare. They actually use these apps and they test stuff out in their investigations. And it's called, hang on, I got to double, I got to use my other phone. I had it on this one. And it makes this ringing bell sound almost. And then an image pops up through AI. Okay, now it's not going to show me. Hang on. How am I going to find this? Give me one sec. It's through the GhostTube app, but I don't know quite how it works, if it picks up the energy or what it's searching for exactly. But the whole point is it then shows, if you're communicating with a spirit, what they're trying to show you with a picture. And right after I did that, I thought, oh, well, we'll try it. It's called GhostTube Seer. And lo and behold, what does the picture come up? I sent you a couple pictures. I tried it a couple days ago, and it was creepy what came up outside. And I had no voices coming through. Hi, Jane. She says, boo, boo.
Boo, boo.
So after I get rest in peace with the ghost talker, I shut that down. And I think, well, let's try GhostTube Seer. It sends me, not a word of a lie, looks like the headless horseman on a horse. Like, there's no way these apps think I'm dead, right?
I know. They think you're dead. Well, maybe it saw your face. It's like skeleton. She's dead.
I don't know. I just thought it was funny.
I had, and this is creepy, but it's not spooky, and it didn't happen on Halloween, but when I was a child, I was probably about 9, 8, 7, between 7 and 9, right around there. But I used to go up the road to play with these two kids at the end of this like dead end type of thing. And the boy lived in this big wooden house, and the girl lived across the street, and she always had a sweater on and she was always cold. And I don't remember her name. It is so weird. But the weird thing about this whole story is for at least a year, I played with those two. I would leave my house. I would go walk down, because this is back in the 70s. Yeah. We could leave without fear of our parents getting taken away. But so we went to this. We'd go to the boy's house, and we would go. And I remember one time we went over there. He wanted to have lunch. He said, "Let's have lunch." And he went into the cupboard and grabbed 1 can of corned beef hash. There wasn't anything else in these cupboards or anything. Wow. He just grabbed that, and he grabbed 3 spoons and said, "Let's go in the attic." And then that's what we did. We all went up to the attic. I remember even during the day, the attic was dark, but you could see points of light coming through like cracks in the wood. And I still can remember the smell of that place. And we used to play up there, just tell stories and talk. And the thing that was weird when you look back at it, he brought the 1 can that one time of corned beef hash. We all had a spoon and ate it. And he wasn't starving or nothing. That's just what kids, we brought up a snack. And then after that, we would go across. I went to the girl's house one time. And this is the weird how it all started. This went on for a while. I don't know how long. We were friends. And I don't remember going to school with them, which was odd. But I went over to the girl's house one time, and I knocked on the girl's door, and it sounded like the mom saying, "Come in, she'll be right in." And I said, "Okay." And I walked in, and there was like kids' toys everywhere, but there was nobody in the house. It was just the girl wasn't there. Nobody was there. It was just a house full of kids' toys. And I walked back out of the house, and that scared me enough. I was going to go home and tell my mom that, I went over by that girl's house, and there's nobody in there, but somebody said, "Come in." And they didn't really believe me, but I guess my parents went down there, and they said, "Which house is it?" And I said, "It's the blue house on the right. It's the blue house. It's like a short ranch." And my parents go, "There's no blue house on the right." I said, "Yes, there is. She lives there." And I said, the boy, he lives almost right across the street. He lives in that 3-story house. You can see the attic on the top. They're like, "There's not a house there." And I shoot you not, for the longest time, it had to be almost at least a year, maybe, I don't know. I would go over to that house, and all 3 of us would play in that house. And they said that
I had
house
a funny feeling. So these kids were in spirit, because you haven't told me this story before, but I was wondering if that's who you were playing with. Were they spirits?
Yeah, well, I don't know. I got it written in my book, because that memory wasn't really there that much. And after my coma at my age, I was 49 years old when that happened. People would say, "Oh, you don't remember your childhood." And I didn't. Well, I lost a lot of my memory, so I didn't remember my childhood. But as memories would come back, and my memories of my childhood started coming back really strong. And people were saying, "How are you remembering that at your age?" I'm like, "I don't know. I have certain parts of my childhood that are like they're so clear. And there's like, I was like 4, some when I was like 6. I mean, and I know the week went on, but these kids, the house is up there. I got on my phone. This was about a couple years ago. I got on my phone to look up where that, like, to see on Google Maps where that house is from my house, and that house isn't there. And I'm like, I said to my mom, I went over there. I'm like, did they tear down that house? And then she's like, which house? I'm like, the 3-story house that was in front of the barbershop. She's like, there wasn't a 3-story house there. I'm like, yes, there was. Don't make me crazy. Don't gaslight me. I'm not crazy. But I do to this day. And I don't know why that memory's there. And the memory's strong. I mean, it's literally a memory. Mm-hmm. They're not there. The houses aren't there. And my mom and dad said they were never there, those houses.
I downloaded a video to show something very similar, not with children, but it's a similar type video. If you want, I'll show it. And you even see the guy going to shake, looks like somebody else's hand, but there's nobody there.
I saw those videos. Yeah.
No, this is a different one. This was a new one I had not seen. You might have seen it off of TikTok.
I might have seen
it. A newer one, because I've seen many like this, but maybe you've seen it, but they may not have seen it.
Oh, they may not have. So, but anyway, so I saw these. So I have a memory of playing with these 2 kids from 2 separate houses. I can tell you what the houses look like inside. That's how much I remember them. I remember where the bathroom is in the boys' house, where the kitchen is. I remember where the cupboard was. I thought it was odd that there was nothing in any of the cupboards except for the 1 can of corned beef hash and the 3 spoons in the drawer. That was it. There was nothing. And that's what tipped me off. And I thought, I guess maybe as a kid, I didn't think about it. But when I had the memory of it again, I'm like, that is weird. And I wrote it it's in my book in the beginning, because this was back in the time too, when I was that age. Our house was disgustingly haunted, I guess you could say. It wasn't really haunted because nothing was there that died there, that stayed there or anything, but there's activity all over the place. I mean, we used to have sparks fly out of the electrical sockets. I've had plugs come unplug and plug themselves back in. They would open doors and shut doors, the attic doors. They would, I told you about the fireplace that they turned on that wasn't plugged in. Mm-hmm. And that was, and you guys, if you had this stuff when you're younger, it's like, of course, you know, there's ghosts at this point. There's nothing that anybody on this, and I'm skeptical of a lot of stuff, but some of the stuff I saw as a child, it's like, you cannot tell me that that didn't happen. And there's people with me that happened. I have 2 cousins and my brothers and everything. Well, my other brother passed now, but my younger brother wasn't around yet. But all these, everybody's seen these things. And the weird one I think I told Lorilei about it. And we had one of those old 70s fireplaces, and we had walked into, me and my cousin Pam walked into the room where my brother and my cousins were all sitting, and they were watching Hee Haw or something on TV. And we're standing there, little kids, and all of a sudden that fireplace turns on. And we all just stand there and looked. And I don't know, somebody said, Pam, go shut that off. And she goes to shut off the fireplace. And she's like, it's not plugged in. And we all ran. Yeah, we ran. The fireplace wasn't even plugged in. It just went on. So there was no electricity coming through it. It had like the fake log with the light in it that turned. And and that what started going, but it wasn't plugged in. So we had some pretty strange stuff. But let's show them this video that has to do with, I mean, I'm sure there's a lot.
Well, no, I don't have that one uploaded. I have a different one. I'll pull that one up. And say hi to Jonathan. Jonathan, I know you're just tuning in. We're talking about, we're going to probably do some ITC tonight, intertrans communication. So the beauty in that is, guys, that you can ask questions if you want of the spirits as well, if they come through on the devices, and we'll see what kind of answers we get. Or like I said, we may have different people on towards a little bit longer, maybe the last hour in the show, for short periods to do some ITC with devices and things like that. So, but this video, hang on.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Jonathan. It's Maybelline.
Oh. I was outside and my neighbor came over and she goes, it's not Halloween yet. And I go, well, it is tonight. And then she came over because poor little kitty got hit on the road today. And it was a long story that happened in front of her house, but she hadn't come out. So she was asking me what happened. And then these two ladies are going by walking and they start stopping and they're staring and they're pointing and pointing. And then I said, I know it might look scary from afar. And they go, you're real? We thought it was a real skeleton or something. So funny? It was funny. Okay. So, and it's cracking because this is my, before I play.
You can't tell on screen at all.
No, I was going to say though, this is my dedication to this. I did buy makeup and everything for it. Good old Martha Stewart had a great tutorial. Well, the makeup I bought was crap. So this is how dedicated I am, guys. Grab non-toxic white paint. That's why it's cracking.
Oh, no.
Okay, let's play this. So this is Creepy Things Caught on Camera. So hang on. There's a few different clips.
Ready for bed. It's just a peaceful night here.
Okay, look up in the corner.
Get ready to go to bed myself. What the fuck is that?
It might be hard to see.
Oh, God! Fuck!
Escucha, hágale, pero hágale suavecito. Espere.
Oh,
hágale.
I think that's where I screamed. I got goosebumps.
Look how friggin' bright that is. This is amazing. Yeah, so these
That was
not
creepy.
just
Hey, vente. It's hard to see in that one.
Нет. Нет. Опять убери надолго. Он двигается.
Okay, so let me stop that. I want to remind people, if you're listening, because I keep forgetting, and wonderful Carrie Lynn here reminding
Dogs are ready for bed.
That 80% of our listening audience is actually audio. So if you're hearing that and you're wondering where the video came from, it's on TikTok, and it's called the scariest video or paranormal caught on camera or something to that effect. That's where I got a lot of these videos looking it up. So I'm going to give Carrie Lynn a shout out because I had said to her,
Carrie Lynn.
She is the host of Spirit Switchboard on Fridays from 5 p.m. to 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And she's awesome and very gifted with spirit and mediumship and connecting, and she does paranormal investigating. So I said we may do some ITC later on. Maybe we'll get a couple people on if you want to come on, and we can. Carrie Lynn does have some devices. I know Jonathan does too. She goes, "Hi, David. Hi, Lorilei," and Howie says hi to Carrie Lynn. So Carrie Lynn though said, "Ha ha ha!" That made me jump. That was what I was watching on my front steps when that guy poked up the rafters into the thing, and that face was there, and I went. And I was on the front steps.
We had when I was a little boy, we had at my cousin Pam's house, they had a peeper, and it wasn't a ghost, but there is a guy, and it scared all of us. We were all sitting in the kitchen, and you could look above the kitchen window, and this guy puts his face in the middle of the night right up to the window. You never heard 5 people scream. So loud. Yeah.
I'm trying to find I was talking about though, where the guy is at. Oh, this is it. So let me upload it here, guys.
At a factory when he noticed something.
Okay, so I'm going to play it for you. You're going to be watching this. A security guard captures unexplainable footage, again on TikTok. This video I think will probably be available on YouTube. God, what's his name? He's like Nuke's Top 5. If Shannon was here, she would remind me. Bizarre Bob, I think, or something like that is his name, because I know the voice. I want you to watch this guy where the arrow is, and I'll play the clip for you guys, and you see what you think, okay?
This next video was recorded by a security guard who was looking over at the security cameras inside a factory when he noticed something very strange. Somewhere inside this factory, a welder is working alone, but there's something about him that doesn't seem right. The security guard takes a closer look at the footage and immediately starts to feel uneasy. After watching this incident on the camera feed, he quickly calls over the welder to look at this video and explain what was happening in this clip. But just like the night guard, the welder was left completely baffled. He had no idea as to what was captured. Now this video took place during the night shift, which makes this incident twice as creepy. Nobody else had been working at this factory except the welder. But according to him, another welder who had the day off had come by to visit him. They had talked for just a bit before the night guard called over the welder to look at this footage. But after watching the video, the welder was left speechless. This is what was caught.
Let's see if I can make it bigger, guys. Yeah, see if that works for you. So he's talking to somebody. He shook the guy's hand for people listening or whatever.
As it turns out, the other welder who had dropped by to say hi wasn't actually there. The welder, who's seen on camera, swears that he saw the other worker in full uniform, as though he was ready to work. They had even shaken hands, according to him. But when looking at the footage, no one appears to be there. Although pretty strange, this incident gets a whole lot stranger after hearing what happened to the worker who apparently had the day off. To their shock, the factory had received news that this worker had passed away in his own home. His cause of death remains unknown, but knowing that he died on the same day this occurrence took place has left the welder feeling spooked. Could it be that the spirit of the welder's friend had paid him a visit during his shift? Or could this whole incident be explained by something else? As with all videos, there has yet to be a definitive answer to this question.
So make it smaller. Now, you guys notice what I found was intriguing by this was that light. There looks like there's a light representing well, whomever this welder was talking to. Like I said, Dave, I'd seen lots of videos like that before too. Had you seen that one? I think that's a newer one that's out.
No, it's not. It's an old one. It's an older one. He just discovered
okay? I've never
that guy you're talking about. Yeah, it's not real. It's not super. No, I'm not gonna. It's not super duper old, like years old. I mean, it was like earlier this year. I saw it.
Okay, no, I've seen lots of them like that. Like where there was one guy that one
you just showed. That one you just showed was the only one of the ones that I saw that I thought, that one I could really see. For a couple of reasons. One, I just told you the story of me talking to two kids who weren't there for who knows how long.
That's why I pulled it up.
I can't sit here and be an idiot and say, "Oh, that's not real." But I will say that one. I don't know why that light is there.
There's a light there.
Yeah, I don't know why the light is there. They don't mention it. They don't mention the light in his narrative at all. So he should have said something like, "Hey, this is a glare from my camera," or "Hey, check out this spooky light." But he doesn't acknowledge the light at all, which is odd. That's what I think is not the guy shaking the hand.
Talking.
Oh no, not the guy. Not the guy. I'm talking about the narrator of the thing. He didn't say anything about the light. But I mean, he should have.
I know,
because
okay. Do you watch Bizarre Bob though? Because he's not going to tell you a lot, right? Like he's going to get you to watch, and then you decide.
I did see that light, and it was hard to tell if it was a. I couldn't tell what it was. I can't even say. I mean, I'd have to be there. But it was odd that the light was there, and I did watch the light, like you said. The light was in. It was in the perfect spot. It really was. It was in a perfect spot if it wasn't those.
I'm going to come to your comments just a sec, Howie. So Dem Rogers says, do you follow Haunted 5? Is that coming up there? My computer's slow because I'm sharing, sorry. There's a creepy video in the laundry room. Now, I'm not sure if that's the one you're talking about. Is that the one where the footage was caught? There was all kinds of crazy stuff going on in the laundry room, Dem Rogers? Because there is one, like towels look like they're being pulled off of hooks and all kinds of stuff. If it's not, feel free to send me a link if you have one too. Anybody can. Most of you people, we're easy to find on Facebook, especially. You can send us links on Messenger. We're happy to play them if it's something spooky.
Yeah, please,
I'm going to get
by all means.
Yeah, and Carrie Lynn had offered. She said,
that video that
go
you
ahead.
just showed was my favorite video out of all those. That was the one, because Lorilei knows me. I will go through whenever I see videos like that. I'll go through it. I'll play them over. I'll do whatever I can to see if it's something, other than that first. That was one that I watched over and over. And a couple questions came to my mind, but I still couldn't do anything about it. So I'm going to say this video is, for me, it's probably like
No,
90% probably
don't
real.
don't email it. Don't email it, honey. Send it to me on Facebook Messenger if you can, because otherwise I got to go do all the mechanics to try and get it uploaded. It's a lot easier for me just to play it if I have it on Facebook Messenger. And if you can't, don't worry. You can send it to me for another. We got lots of Halloween shows coming up in the next couple of days. Yeah. What I was trying to say is, Carrie Lynn, I don't know if you were here, because I know you had a client. We were talking about probably the last hour or so of the show about maybe doing some ITC, or anybody that wants to join us with intertrans communication. Like, I know Carrie Lynn's got a couple different devices. We had talked about GhostTube. I know Jonathan, if he's still here, he uses the SB7. So there's lots of different devices, and you can communicate in real time should spirit decide to come through. So Howie, you got to just let us know what that link is. I'm not quite sure what that is, so you'll have to let me know, because if it's in the chat, I could play it, but like I said, I sort of need to have a little bit of an idea what it is. So do you want me to read Dem Rogers? So we're trying to mix things up a little bit here, and she did send it in, as well as the Sun Dragon has sent us in quite a few really interesting stories. So
yeah, go for it.
Oh, you're just sharing? Okay. Was that what you were talking about, though? How that your video? I'm going to read that comment out for people listening then, if that's a video you were sharing. Pardon?
What comment are you reading it out? What comment are you reading?
Just Howie, or Ed Odell, we call him Howie, though.
Yeah.
And he has the Rift Nation Network, guys. Check it out. He's got great shows, great hosts. He has the Orion Effect himself. So please check it out. He's got some great content on there. So he said, we have at Belnimus, I think it is, there was a perfect example of what we saw with Ryan C. Jones, ASP as in Peter S hyphen paranormal and YouTube. We caught it on video, located in the basement area. Very cool. How long's the video clip, Howie? Because he put that video clip in there. It's the light scene as what the welder saw. Interesting. Well, if it's not too long, I can certainly play it. But let me read Dem Rogers' story, because she sent it in, and so did Z Sun Dragon, or Kevin, sent a bunch of stories in earlier on. He said he was working tonight. About 2 minutes? Okay, well, if you get a chance, I'll try and play it for you. Hang on. Let me get, I have it.
Skeletons don't wear glasses.
I do, because I'm blind. I'm a blind. Okay, so she ghost captured on camera. Oh, you guys have sent some good ones here. Thank you for doing that, because that way I can just send it to me, because I have Facebook Messenger open, and even though it's on YouTube. And Howie, if you want, please send me that link on Messenger, because that way it's easier for me to play. I just got to click and play, because I always download videos, like if it's on TikTok or anything else. So it's just easier to play, and then we don't have to deal with any advertising or anything like that. Thanks, Howie. I'll send it to me. I got it right here. Because as you know, YouTube loves to have us have advertising unless you pay for a full account. Okay, I had you uploaded here. Where did you go? Oh, maybe it was the other phone. Got too many phones going here. Sorry, 19. Okay, here it is. Okay, so this is called The Traveler. And these are Halloween stories from Dem Rogers. So it says, my daughter was 4 to 5 years old, and she had terrible night terrors. They were so brutal. She would pull at her arms like she was trying to pull IVs or intravenous's out of her arms. Good old nurse speak. We're both nurses, right? IVs out of her arms, and stare at something that wasn't there. This wasn't the only behavior during the night terrors. She would act at times like an old woman, a little old woman. She would act as though she was putting on her nylons, then get up and straighten her dress, and then ask for her shawl. This is going to be really interesting, because I actually uploaded a video clip very similar to get something big changes with an adult actually caught on camera too. So thank you for this. Anyways, she would put on, act out like she wanted her shawl or shawl. Sorry if I didn't say that right. Once we handed her the shawl, she wanted her pocketbook. Now, these are terms she would never have known. She would then say it was time to go and start walking to the door. Always before we reached the door, she wouldn't realize she wasn't where she was supposed to be and would drop to the floor and begin to crawl away from us and scream at the top of her lungs. That is so weird. I'm just going to throw it out here. I just heard fire. I don't know why or what. I don't know if it has to do with the story in here, but as I was reading it, that's what I heard. Whether she screamed it or not, but that's what I heard. So we were heading down to West Virginia for my cousin's wedding. We spent the night at my mom and dad's house so we could all travel together. My daughter had probably the worst night terror she ever had, just standing in the hallway screaming bloody murder and bawling her eyes out. At one point, she was reaching out for or to something or someone, and the longer she stood there without getting that entity to react, the louder she screamed. She was wearing footy Winnie the Pooh pajamas. We finally got her calmed down and she went to sleep. We left for my grandmother's house and arrived in about 8 hours. My grandmother called me to the back bedroom saying she needed to talk to me now. No one else knew how bad this was. My grandmother sits me down and asks me, what is wrong with my daughter? I said, I didn't know what she was talking about. And she said, well, last night, and she gave me the exact time, I saw her in my hallway screaming and she was reaching out for me. She was wearing Winnie the Pooh footy pajamas and she was screaming so loud. So they were 8 hours away from her grandmother when this grandmother's reporting that she saw her at the exact same time. She said she felt terrible. She couldn't take her hand because she didn't know what would happen to either of them if she did. But she did say that she thought my daughter was a traveler and that she thought that if she would have taken her hand, she felt she could have pulled her through into her hallway there in West Virginia. She said she had heard of travelers before, but had never seen one. She then explained that her acting like an old woman didn't surprise her, that being a traveler, she would catch the lost souls and be pulled to their time to help them complete unfinished business. This was mind-blowing. I looked at the night terrors differently after that. Always keep an open mind. And then she added, we never knew why. That is fascinating. I have never heard of a story like that before. Have you, Dave?
No, it's kind of cool.
You know what, though, children, and I know Dave will agree with me about these parts, and I've often wondered from what I get from spirit that children are closer to where we all come from when we incarnate into a lifetime. Basically, young children, right? Coming from back home, the universe, heaven, whatever you want to call it. And I think we all remember where we came from as infants and small, toddlers. And then as we start to get older, we start to forget more and more and more.
Yeah.
And I think we're powerful. There's probably, hey, I'm rewatching the Matrix series right now. When I watched that movie when it came out, I couldn't stand it. I didn't know what was going on. And watching it now, my mind is blowing. I'm halfway through the third series and I'm going, holy cow. So David put in here, I got to add, why can't ghosts get people pregnant? They always have Halloweenies.
Because they have Halloweenies.
And Dem Rogers says my grandmother was an Appalachian witch, by the way. And Nancy Thames says, nice Halloween costumes. Thank you. So, and Nicole Thomas Ryan said she had many night terrors. And she said at 54 years old, I still remember many of them. That's interesting that you do, because with having worked with children as a nurse and stuff and out in the community, you meet a lot of people, and a lot of kids don't remember what their night terrors are about. So that's interesting that you do, Nicole. She also added, I know they were more than just dreams. I also saw and heard a lot of things that could not be explained. I was a sleepwalker too. Interesting.
Ooh. I don't remember my dreams as a child. Not really.
I remember a recurrent nightmare I had. Never found out what it meant, but holy crap, did it have to do with the paranormal and being lost in a castle. And I remember it really well. And I would have it without rhyme and reason, like might be 6 months apart, could be a year and a half apart. It was so weird.
Do you know what? When the first, I will probably say the first like good 4 or 5 months after I came out of the coma, when I was at home, my dreams, they were unlike any other dreams, and they stopped now. But oh my God, these dreams they're like your weird dream. They were just so weird. They were so, it took me a while to figure out, okay, look at every dream very metaphorical, because everything in the dream was metaphorical, but every dream had to do with something that was about to happen for a good 4 or 5 months. And it was weird. It was weird. I love stuff like that, though. I wish they would come back and show me those. But then again, sometimes premonition dreams are kind of scary for people.
Yeah, but
never know
what
if
they
this
say, right? They say, and I had I just had her name in my mind. She has a different name. She's from the UK. It's like her first name is like Dulcie or something. And sorry guys, I don't know whose alarm is going off. I apologize. You're gonna hear that. Hopefully they get it quickly. What I was gonna say is thank you. She she does dream work and studies and teaches people about dreams and dream interpretation, and I have to agree with her that nobody knows better what your dreams mean than you, because you're the ones experiencing them. But what her book, she was coming on to talk about a book, but the reason why she was talking about dreams, and I always suggest this to people I'm working with, and I have a crap load of notebooks beside my bed too, because if you can jot down in the morning when you wake up, in the quote unquote sweet spot, right before you're not fully awake, but you're not still asleep, grab your journal and just jot down a few things. Doesn't need to be an essay, before your feet hit the ground. And when you go back after a month or two, you're going to find different types of dreams. There could be an information dream. There could be nonsense dreams, she called them. Some of them were, like you said, Dave, they could be predictive. There was all kinds of information that comes through. So it's a good idea to keep track of them.
Oh, I always do. I tell people all the time, whether your dream was, I mean, they come in different categories. Like you said, there's prophetic dreams, there's flying dreams, there's astral dreams, there's release dreams. Release dreams are my favorite.
Nonsense.
I love release dreams. Yeah. They're just nonsense. You just wake up and you're like, that was fun.
You know why though? And it made sense to me, right? Because our subconscious is always on, whether you want to call it your higher self, your subconscious, whatever you do, right? And we've all been taught to think that what we're thinking with the mind, that's not what runs the show. The subconscious does. And it absorbs so much that we don't even realize that we do, because it's that quick and that fast and that capable. So it could pick up all kinds of things around you. So once you have all that information, right, you got to do something with it. So that's what she was talking about. It made sense to me, a nonsense dream. So you're just kind of like, combing through all this stuff, filing this, filing that.
That's what I call, nonsense dreams and release dreams. They sound like they're the same thing. Yeah.
You're filing away the important stuff, but you're also sifting through the stuff that you do not need, the extraneous stuff. So that's when she was explaining, like you said, maybe a release dream or a nonsense dream.
Yeah, those are fun.
Thanks, Susie.
I guess you guys are talking about the glitches. Well, we could talk about matrix glitches.
I love talking about glitches, because Howie and Dem Rogers both said there's a lot of glitches in the matrix. There is. Susie Jones says you look great, Lorilei. Thank you. And Jonathan said
it might be too early.
I'm not sure about that. I haven't heard about it, so
it might be a little too early to speak about that on a podcast, Jonathan. But I get what you mean. I have that funny feeling as well. It just happened here yesterday.
Did it? Okay. I haven't been online.
It'd probably be a bit well, my personal feeling is I think it's too early for us to say anything about anything doing that. There's still people out there who might know people there, or families still going through stuff, because we lost a lot of people. There's a mass pew here.
No, but what I'm going to add with Jonathan that is really interesting that I've noticed since we've known him and I've met him before is you do have a real gift with ITC and communicating with spirits. You do, and getting information. Carrie Lynn sent me something. I'm trying to see what it is because I asked her if she wanted to come on. She could come on. Oh, she had to slip out. The dogs are acting up. Okay. No worries, honey. She had to slip out. So that's okay. I understand.
Yeah,
But
it was terrible.
babies
Horribly good.
Mhm.
They haven't found him yet. They haven't found him yet, have they? Yeah, they haven't found the Pure.
Okay, I think actually now that you're talking about this, I think I know what you're talking about.
There's two of them. I just watched it right before we went on.
Were they looking for him? Were they looking for him?
There's two of them. There's two guys, two separate ones. They're both from the Army, and they're both trained highly well, and they both have problems. But there's two of them. There's not one.
I'm going to get this girl's name for you because Nicole Thomas Ryan said Teresa Chung is the UK Dream Lady. Okay, her name is. I'm going to find her for you because we did a really interesting show. I should have her back on. She was on BBC this morning. She's been on lots of different TV stuff. Give me one second. I will find her for you and then get her name. And it's an unusual name. Let me see if I can spell it in here. It'll probably just come up in a search. D-E-L. Yes. Delphi. D-E-L-P-H-I Ellis. She's got a great book. She was a great guest, and I liked what she said. And I have to agree with her that because I got to say this, you guys, and Dave, you see what you think. It's kind of the same thing with crystals and other things. These are very subjective things. Now, don't get me wrong. We can channel information and from our guides and what have you. But with a dream, I dare you. I have so many dream interpretation books I can't even tell you. In apps, I could tell you right now, I could pick something obscure, like what does a shark mean? Dreaming about a shark. None of those books will match what a shark means in your dream. None of them. The only person that really knows what your dream is about is you and your subconscious. Oh, go ahead.
There's guidelines, but that's about it.
No, I still don't agree with it because when you look at them, like I have about 10 different sources, and don't get me wrong, I'm not a dream expert, but you look at them, okay, and depending on where the person is coming from, they could be coming from a spiritual perspective, they could be coming from a psychology perspective. They're depending on who they follow, like there's Freud and there's Jung and there's all these other different people, right? So you look at where they come from with these dream interpretations. And there's a few things that, yes, they'll agree, like a butterfly, you'll see that's a common thing or what have you. But the only person I think that really knows what your dreams mean are you. And the subconscious speaks a different language than our mind per se, right? So when you keep these notes and you go back and you start to look at them, you will either see a pattern or a story will start to develop. And
I do agree. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. We should all start, if we're interested in dreams, start your own private symbolism journal for yourself, because symbols are different. Like when we talked about even being mediums, her symbol for love from a spirit is different than my symbol for love from a spirit. Some people get a balloon for birthdays. Some people see different color balloons, stuff like that. I had a while back, and I'm going to just tell you what happened, and I can't give you absolute 100% proof, but this was years ago, and I was doing some massive meditations, and I was asking questions, and I was trying to get answers, and this voice started coming in that I didn't recognize and was talking, and I had been talking to my guides about dreams. Well, ended up, he kept saying Freud, and I was going, okay. So anyway, I thought, okay, I'll play along, because that's how I am. Even in meditations, when I'm talking to spirits, I'm skeptical. Isn't that funny? That's just awful. But anyway, so I was like, I want to play along. So I'm just like, okay, Freud, I hear you. And I said, I was talking about dreams with somebody the other day. I said, what is your take on the dreams? Anyway, all this stuff I got. But he had said half the things that he wrote here, he said, they're not true. He said they're coming from a perspective of my human mind and not my spiritual mind. So all those things about some of the weird stuff that he had.
The Oedipus complex.
Yeah, all those things. He said that was coming strictly from a human mind. It wasn't coming from the spiritual sense. Although he did have a connection, which I don't know that he spoke about, but he had quite a spiritual connection for somebody who I think would tell people that he didn't believe in that stuff had that connection, because things would come through to him that he wasn't trying to study up on anything. These ideas would come to him. They're just like boom, bang, there. And they ended up in his books, and they ended up being scientifically studied. So I agree with you. I think dreams, they are odd. I mean, there's certain symbols, like you could offer somebody, like if somebody asks me if I keep dreaming about this, I'll tell them, well, this is what I know about this symbol. If it works for you and you can make it, helps you make sense of your dream, that's fine. But if it doesn't, don't think that you're messed up. Just this, my symbol was wrong. That's all you need to think.
I have a different perspective. I don't like to do dream interpretation, but I will. I even have a deck for dream interpretation, like dreams for people, pulling cards. So I usually, not so much like, one question reading, like, because David and I go live on his TikTok. Most Wednesdays we do, or if it's busy, we'll go Thursday afternoons to talk about the show. And I don't like to tell people what their dreams are, but I'll ask them, if say it's a one-on-one session, what's been going on. I usually know anyways, because they're coming for a reason, right? For a reading or energy healing. And lo and behold, different things that happen in people's lives, you will see the symbolism within your dream. But David is exactly right. I also had Lana Sackwild on. And if you guys ever want to learn astral travel, you got to check her out. Like this girl, and she's very open about it. She's absolutely gorgeous. Went from having a severe drug habit in her late teens to early 20s. Within 3 years, I believe she's now earning 7 figures, has gone all around the world, taught herself Japanese, by the way, while she was sleeping, using lucid dreaming. And that's what it is. She mainly does lucid dreaming.
Lucid dreaming.
So she makes use of the time while you're sleeping to be able to do all kinds of things, and she teaches you how to do it.
So does Charlie. Charlie, I think his name's Charlie Moore. I think he's out of the UK, and he's another one. He's famous all over for teaching lucid dreaming.
He's from the UK. I didn't know this till I had her on my show. And she went to Japan. She decided she wanted to go to Japan when she got out of rehab, and she wanted to turn her life around. She met her husband there. And when you hear this girl speak, you would never know she was from the UK. Like, she knows, I think, 7 or 8 languages. Yeah, I'm so impressed by her. And she gives a lot away for free and sends a lot of downloads or her groups or things like that. Like I thought she was pretty cool. But what happened with me, I was using her techniques. I got all excited because I realized that I was having a lucid dream, and I woke myself up because I was all excited.
Yeah, you're absolutely correct. That is the number one warning. If you realize you're in a lucid dream, calm down, because you'll snap right out of it.
Yeah, that's what happened. Yeah, that's definitely what happened.
I had lots of lucid dreams in the hospital, but lucid dreaming isn't something that just happens to me. Astral dreams, I get a lot of those.
Yeah, but we all astral travel. Like somebody was mentioning, I'm setting up one of the videos that was sent to us. So who was it that was mentioning that?
I know just the difference is we do all astral travel, and we leave our bodies a couple times a week and see the spirit world. The only difference is I remember some of them, and and they're not a dream. Yes. I will tell you this. This is one thing when people ask what kind of dream did I have. I will say this, most likely out of all, and the studies go just for this one thing is what I do follow. As far as to know if you had an astral dream or were astral traveling and it wasn't a dream, most people, when asked, they had the same story. And that was, they'll say they felt like they were flying, and they'll ask that person, were you flying in an airplane, a car, or a vehicle, or were you flying anything? They're like, no, I wasn't actually. I was just flying through the air. I was just going through it. Everybody who had the astral dream, they said that. The ones who said I was in an airplane, nope, that was just a regular dream. In the astral dream, they actually didn't have the body at that point. But I wonder, in my astral dreams, I don't have a body. And I'm not flying in an airplane.
I do. And I think that we astral travel a lot in our dreams. And in the beginning,
yeah, we do. Yeah, I just don't have a body in my dream.
Well, I was just going to share, though, what the difference is, because I used to wonder, but the difference is Lucid dreaming is you are aware that you are asleep in a dream. And when you master it, some people are naturals at it, or you can teach yourself how to do it. You can control your dreams. So you say you were having a nightmare and somebody was coming at you with a knife or a gun or something. You could, if you've ever seen Harry Potter, very simplistically, I think it was the third one with Sirius Black, but they were all with the Defense Against the Dark Arts teacher, and he was the werewolf, Remus Lupin, and he had this enchanted cupboard, and it was going to show the kids the most scary thing they possibly had, and they said the words out loud, ridiculous, and they turned it into something comical.
Yeah,
it's not quite the same because they were away, but that's kind of like the magic that you can master and do in your sleep. Astral travel is, we have a soul body or an astral body too, right? We're not going to get lost. It's not going to go anywhere. We have a silver cord, but you can purposefully travel to different planets and different places, or be flying, or do whatever. And yeah, it's really, really cool.
Oh, that's it. The Bogart.
The Bogart,
yeah, that's the difference. Yeah, I was talking about astral travel. We're talking about, but this is the one thing with people who teach lucid dreaming. Every person I came across who taught lucid dreaming always says that they learn different skills in there, which is a true thing about lucid dreaming. A lot of people can, but that's their big thing. But I've always wanted to I've heard talk about it. I've always wanted to take one of their courses just to see what they were about.
What I like about Lana, okay, and she talked about this on the Angel Rock, is you will see a lot of people, and she wasn't bashing anybody, but they'll tell you to think of a phrase that you'll remind yourself when you're sleeping. So if you're in a dream, and when you scratch your nose, for example, tell yourself, that's my sign for I'm going to be lucid in this dream. But she says, what if you dream and you never ever dream about scratching your nose? How is that going to work? So she gets you to keep records of your dreams and what themes and things come up most common, so you will know, and then you can tap into what's going to show up most commonly in your dreams. Like I said, she had a really different way of teaching people. And like I said, she really shares a lot for free. And I think she's awesome. I really, really do.
Some people talk about the red ball method. What
if you never see a red ball, though? That's what she says. And it made so much sense to me. So work with what you have.
Mine for me, if I have a lucid dream, which I haven't in a very, very, very long time, for me, it's look down at my hands, because you will never have 5 fingers in your lucid dream. They'll be blurry. Well, that's what they say, but that's what I look down. If I look like my hands look like they're like
but that's your sign for you. So I like.
Well, no, I got it because it's a common scientific sign for lucid dreaming.
I have never heard that.
Yeah, that's how I used it, but it works for me. But like I said, it only works for me because I picked it up. It doesn't mean that I don't think that it's supposed, just because a lot of people do it doesn't mean everybody does it. Some people do the red ball thing, and I agree with you. When in the hell am I going to have a dream where I see a red ball?
Oh, and it wasn't me. It was coming from her. And I went, that makes so much sense because.
Oh, no, it's true. I can't think of when I would see
innocuous, but so why not? And she walks you through, and I didn't take a course. It's in her books, and she puts this in her Facebook groups and stuff. And I just thought, yeah, that makes sense. Let's work with what we got, like what you normally would do in a dream most often.
That's what I know. I know if I look down and my hands look funky, I'm like, oh, I'm dreaming.
You know that. That's your sign, right?
And I don't have to wait for anything to bounce. If I realize it, I don't have to look for weight or waste any time. Just look at my hand. Woo! But unfortunately, I have not had a lucid dream in a long time, and I really wish that I could. Some people teach you
how to do that. You could do it every night if you wanted.
Yeah. Well, I don't know, and I'm sure that could be true, but I wonder how many people I rarely run into people that do lucid dream, which is so funny. There's so many people.
My partner has always lucid dreamed.
Lucid dream. Yeah, some people it's just a natural gift. They're just there. Yeah.
And I
did not have that. I do not have that.
I get very envious because he can just do it whenever he wants. And then when he's got to tell me a dream, and my oldest son is like this, and he is not my oldest son's father, it's his stepdad. These guys have the strangest dreams, and they will tell me for like 10 minutes, like everything that happened and where they went and what this was and this. And at the end of it, I always say, how the hell do you remember all that stuff? Like, wow. Like, you guys could write a book about this. And they have the most interactive, wildest dreams. And I finally discovered why I don't remember a lot of my dreams, unless I have some I would call lucid dreams that are very, very lucid, that I remember, like our paranormal experience, right? Like I knew what I was doing in that dream. I was purposeful, the whole bit, before all the paranormal started. And there's been a couple dreams like that. But other than that, I don't remember. And then I realized why, because I don't sleep enough.
Yeah.
I like my normal time to go to bed as of late is 5 a.m., sometimes 6. And I'm up by between 8:30 and 10 a.m. You got to be sleeping longer than that to get good.
You got to be sleeping a little bit longer. I know, because I have regulars. I'm not bragging. I had 30 years where I don't think I slept, because everything was so terrible with me. But now I'm on, I sleep 7 hours a day. It's always 7 hours. I don't even have to set an alarm clock. It just automatically 7 hours in there. So I'm lucky. Now, I just want to ask people in the audience right now who are here. Let's get a little spooky for a minute. How many of you have had dreams as an adult, not as a child, as an adult, with some kind of monster, some kind of thing that's not a human?
I have.
Have you? I was going to say some have. I've had one.
Frickin' night, almost, in my previous home. This house here, I still have a lot of dreams like that. And the worst part, and you're supposed to not be able to move in your sleep. I don't know if you would consider it lucid, but it would be so bad. And I'm not a screamer. I'm pretty even keeled like you are, Dave. And I would be screaming in my sleep. I used to scare the hell out of my partner and even my first husband, because it's so many nightmares. And I'm not a screamer, I'm pretty calm, but they were that bad. So let's listen to what our comment. You asked a good question, Dave. Let's see what our commenters are saying. So Nicole Thomas Ryan says she's had dreams like this as an adult. Howie says of clowns he has. Stargazer, welcome Stargazer. I don't think we said hello. Welcome. Totally wasn't expecting you to do that. Astral travel. I did a meditation earlier for it, but no expectations. And then boom, there you go. No expectations, right, Dave?
I think that's the best way to do it. No expectations.
Janet Martin's here waving. Hello, Janet. Welcome. Oh, Howie, this is creepy. Howie says, I had a clown. I was being chased by an evil effing clown. Oh, I hate clowns. I really don't like them.
Clowns are the worst.
And he goes, the dream was over and over and oh, creepy.
Although I've never understood, but I know people do. I'm not afraid of clowns. Never have been afraid of clowns. They don't creep me out. They don't do anything. I even watched like Killer Clowns from Outer Space, but I know people have that real phobia. It's always been very interesting to me. But I guess, if I really look at it though, I don't know how many times that I've actually stood next to a real clown.
I'm okay with clowns. Like if they're at a circus or something. But where it really bothered me, it was a few years back, and every freaking video, you can look them up, because we do a lot of research for the shows. And there were people going up to people's Ring doorbells, like with knives and a balloon, dressed in an evil clown mask and outfit. And that's what I don't like. That. And John Wayne Gacy.
The reason I asked this, and now this might change your answers now a little bit, but there's a reason I asked this, because there has been times where I have had, and it's really weird, when I have a particularly very angry day, which lately, as of like the last couple of years, this doesn't really happen that often, but I have like an angry day where it's like I'm just angry at people all day. People will walk up to me, and every negative person with negative angry will speak to me. It'll get in me. I'll have like the worst day. I can almost like clockwork. When I have a dream, there will be a monster in my dream. It'll be a monster like I've never seen before, and it'll be a creepy looking monster. I'm not talking about a clown or anything that's human. It'll just be really. And I had asked my guides one time, I'm like, why am I seeing this when that happens? They said, oh, that's just your anger. And I said, what? They're like, you're manifesting your anger into a being. That's how angry you were. So I'm like, oh my God. So I was wondering if other people did that, like if they had, because when me and Lorilei talk about tulpas or talk about anything like that, emotions, and this is where when I talk about when people go, it was the D word in the house and all that. And even though it presented itself like that, it might not be an actual being. I wonder if it's, because from what I'm understanding more and more is that really, really strong emotions and stuff like that can actually become like have an image to it.
Well, the other thing too with nightmares that can happen, okay,
Yeah.
or the other thing that made a lot of sense to me with the research that I've done a little bit on is a nightmare, right? Our dreams are subconscious communicating with the mind, if you will,
Yeah.
right? If you've got something, say, that you haven't been dealing with that needs to be dealt with, and it's maybe having a big effect on your life, like you said, or if you were really angry or something, symbolically, something could show up as a nightmare, right? Maybe it needs your attention. That's another reason. I think I got that from Delphi as well. Like I said, the reason why I enjoyed her, and I'm not trying to name drop or anything, the reason why I mention the people that I do, because they just seem to make a lot of sense and they're really down to earth about the whole thing. And again, take what resonates with you and leave the rest. But I think there's a lot of reasons why I know I've heard that they'll say certain foods don't cause nightmares. I'm sorry, I'm going to call BS on that, because I know for me, sometimes that'll happen. I know I've heard of other people. So there's many reasons why we have nightmares, I think.
Mine is always bad days. A
For
bad day.
you, though, you know what that is.
That's what I mean. For mine, it's a bad day. But that's why I was asking if people are seeing monsters in their dreams that they've never seen of before, just like out of the blue. That's like, why did I dream about that big purple thing with 6 heads and 4 arms?
Well, look at what Janet said. I was looking in the mirror and the monster was me in the dream in a uniform.
Ooh, that's a good way to put it.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of uniform? Oh.
Yeah, I was wondering that myself. I don't know why I saw waitress uniform. I don't know why, but then I was going to say Ed put some, or Howie, sorry, Howie, put some things in here. Uniform. No, but there was another one I wanted to point out that was interesting. Oh, that was Stargazer. Yes, a demon. I'll say it, demon. She was dreaming of, and they said I was a priest getting it out. So again, I'm getting all kinds of ideas about what that could be, right? Symbolically, but the person that will know best is Stargazer.
Yeah. Yeah, you're always going to know that. We can analyze it all we want. And that's one thing I learned from Freud. He said I spent more time analyzing instead of listening to people.
Mm-hmm. And so Howie said I had coulrophobia all the way into my 40s. I broke it during this season, pushing myself to go to clown houses Halloween season. Now, isn't that interesting? Coulrophobia. I'm guessing that is a fear or phobia of clowns. So, and Stargazer says, I hated clowns. I had an unseen enemy that was a clown on stilts. I hated him as a child. Nicole says, I see ETs in my dreams. Okay, so let's talk about that for a sec. Do you think that the ETs are necessarily nightmarish, or because, they're much more advanced, a lot of ETs than we are, and a lot of ways, just like our loved ones, when we've lost someone, will come through in our dreams because we're perfectly wide open then, right? It's the easiest to be able to connect with us in that dream space.
There's certain parts of your sleep where, everything's shut down, and that's the best time to get in.
Mm-hmm. But that's what I meant with the ETs. Like maybe they've been trying to get your attention, Nicole. And so it'd be interesting to hear, but it's up to you what your perception is, whether you feel it's a nightmare or what could it be, right?
Yeah.
I have that ghost captured in the laundry room uploaded. Do you want me to play that, Dave?
Yeah, play that once.
Oh, you guys, I get so involved and I keep forgetting. I'm supposed to do this at the top of the hour. Oh, no, you don't, you little monkey. I knew this was going to happen. Come here, you little monkey. She loves the computer. This is Stephen Nicole, right? Stephen Nicole, but you're not going to shut mom's computer, right? Anyways, what was I saying there? I was going to say something else. Oh, well, I'll grab it. Hang on. Don't distract me. All right. So we got, this is apparently, no, I don't want to change my screen name. Jesus. Hang on. Okay. Add to the stage. We want to add this to the stage. Okay. So this is the one Deb Rogers sent us. Oh, you are going to come up, you little monkey. Oh, she loves to hop on my computer. So hang on, guys. I'm trying to get this to load. So, okay, YouTube, I'm going to play it up.
Doing his laundry one evening when he began to hear a child laughing nearby. This would be normal if he had a kid, but he was home alone and completely terrified. He has been experiencing paranormal activity in his home of late and mainly seeing and hearing a small child spirit. He grabbed his phone to try to capture the strange entity, but he never thought he would capture the following.
Oh, dear God.
He focuses the camera around his washing machine after hearing some strange knocking coming from nearby. Not long after, he captures a terrifying child screaming from an open area above. As he quickly looks around the corner to see what it could have been, the entity completely vanishes.
I downloaded.
A man was doing his laundry one evening when he began to hear a child laughing nearby.
I downloaded this because it was in a compilation. I know what I was doing, by the way. I was going to remind you guys that if you're just tuning in, you're listening to The Thing at the Foot of the Bed with myself, Lorilei Potvin, and my awesome friend and co-host, David Hanzel. And you're listening to 105.3 and 107.7 out of New Orleans, Louisiana. Oh my gosh. I saw that was in a compilation, but they didn't have the voice. Okay, Dave the skeptic, what do you think? And the rest of the skeptics?
Looking at it, fine. I saw something like that. It's not, there's always something that they do. I wish I could hear the original voice in it, because I needed to come back a little bit more and ask, why was that the heavy breathing? Why was he staring down and pointing the camera down at the laundry basket for so long before he decided to lift it up? And then a normal reaction to lifting it up isn't to run around the corner to see what it is. It's to get away from. So he had no fight or flight response, although that's the skeptical part of me.
Okay, but I'm going to ask.
Wait, I'm not done yet. Although I think it could be real too, because I think somebody could capture somebody like that on film, because I've seen some scary stuff.
Okay, so unless I misunderstood this, though, from what I understood from the narrator was this guy was hearing weird sounds and he was doing his laundry. So he turned the camera on while he was listening, just sitting, listening. So he had it on the laundry. And then he heard something, looked up, saw the face and went, what? WTF, and went right around the wall, and there was nothing there.
Yeah, there's the ones like that though. The only thing is, I never look at them as proof. I do look at them as for entertainment. But like I said, when some of these videos, my mind will always say there's footage missing before that needs to be seen, and there's footage missing right afterwards that needs to be seen in order to come to a conclusion of what you just saw. Because I'm
not calling fake. And the reason why I'm not, okay, and I'm ultra sensitive about this, and you know why, I've talked about on the shows before, because I have had people call me a fake and a clout chaser, an attention seeker, and we faked it, and we're doing this. This was years ago with our previous home. But what I think it bears witness to, and I think Howie's agreeing, yep, bingo, the original video, yes, is speaking to the person who took the video clip to get more context about
That's what I mean.
what's
Yeah.
been going on, why, you know, if you've heard these noises before, why did you do this, this, and this? Like you said, what was happening before? What happened afterwards? Like, did it show up again? Were you hearing the noises? Like, did you never see it again? Like, there's lots of questions that are unanswered.
That's why I would say, yeah. Otherwise, it was a good video, though. I've actually,
I'm giving it 10 out of 10.
yeah, I'm going to give it. I'm going to give it that one. That one was right up there with the one that you screamed at, where it looked in the attic.
Oh my God! And I felt like such
one, there's another video. It's a gentleman out of Asia. I think I don't know if it's Japan or Asia. He goes out ghost hunting, and he's in like this attic thing, and he keeps his camera on. He's just talking, doing his normal stuff, and like they're not even saying anything in the narration. Stuff is moving in the light, and he's not acknowledging it or nothing, but literally that's why they're showing it. They're like, look what's happening when this guy is totally not. But anyway, there ended up being, when he was climbing down the attic and his camera was sitting up there before he went to grab it, 2 feet went by.
I saw
to
that.
walk
Yeah.
it.
That's
Yeah.
a common thing in Japan. Have you guys noticed this? Like, I really notice this depending on where videos come from
I
around
do.
the world. And then it starts making me think, like we've talked about before, could it be a tulpa? Like, within Asian countries, especially Japan, you will always see, instead of La Llorona, the woman in white, like in South America or Latino countries, okay, this is always the chick from The Ring, with the long black hair. You can barely see the eyes. If you do, they're black. And then the long white gown. Or I can't tell you the amount of videos. And I do believe these guys are pretty serious about what they do. I think one's called is it the clip store, camera clip store, channel clip store, something like that. There's a few of them out there. Nuke's Top 5 will feature. And without fail, I can't tell you how many videos, and they don't see it when they're in there. It's when they review the footage. Legs hanging down, no shoes, no nothing, legs hanging down.
That is weird, and I agree with you. In certain cultures, the ghosts are different in different cultures.
Mm-hmm.
It's like that really is. It's like even fairy tale. You know, fairy tales are different. Look at the German fairy tales. I mean, if we didn't change them, you wouldn't be able to read them to your kids.
Okay, you know what's driving me crazy though right now? Every freaking thing. You want creepy stuff caught on camera. You want this, and this. Actually, I should play this video because the first two are a joke. The last one, I am not sure what the heck is going on in this video. I would love to play it, but it's people and damn skinwalkers. Everything's a skinwalker. So I'd love to show this video if you guys are open to it. Good idea, Howie. He said maybe manifesting the culture.
It could be. Yeah. Well, everything's perception, and every part of the world is different depending on your perception, where you were born, what you were growing up, and what you're going to see. So I can understand why there's different kinds of ghosts in different places.
Give me a minute. I'm going to find this video. I haven't forgotten about yours either, Howie. We were going to do some ITC. We haven't got enough time today. We're running out of time, you guys. This always goes by so quickly. Okay, I want to see this darn.
I'm going to grab my allergy stuff real quick.
What's that? You're going to grab allergy stuff?
My allergy stuff.
Okay, let me see. Okay, go ahead. I'm still talking. This is surveillance. That one. Let me find it for you guys. I'll find it. It's the skin. Okay, 3 videos showing skinwalkers. This is such a pain in the butt. I'll wait till Dave comes back though, because I want to show you guys this. Okay, first two. No, I'm not going to say anything. You guys see what you think. The first 2 clips. The last one, I have seen this clip before. I don't know what the heck to make out of this clip. I'm not calling them. And Dem Rogers says, I'd love to see them. Okay, these, the last thing, I don't think I'd necessarily call it a skinwalker, but I don't know what the heck's going on with this one. So hang on. Okay, I start playing it and then I'll make it bigger. For people listening, this is from TikTok and the name of it is 3 videos showing alleged skinwalkers, and it is by Yang, YANG SIDS, all one word, Yang Sides. Okay, hang on.
3 videos showing alleged skinwalkers. WTF, dear.
By the garden of the
Okay, this one I'm talking about, the third part. It comes up.
Nope.
How you doing? Oh, just some cruisers, man. That's crazy shit. This guy's crawling at me like it's goddamn. What's up, dude?
That ain't no buck.
I thought I seen a big buck or something.
I don't think I saw this.
Wait, stop right there. What is that? Is that a buck? What is that? Dude, that's a wait a second. I think I see a
I haven't seen that one. That was a bonus. I somehow missed that.
Videos showing alleged skinwalkers.
Okay. How much of a joke did you think the first one was with the deer?
That was very sad that they capitalized off a sick animal walking out of that. So that one I didn't like. That
well, the deer was the first one. It wasn't even sick. The second one was a donkey. They were calling a deer.
That's what I mean. That made the donkey that came out, but the deer I didn't.
Okay,
I didn't understand that one.
Okay, the third one. Now, Howie goes, that was a creeper, not a skinwalker, because I gotta agree. Like, you know who that guy reminded me of? That in that creepy clip, the third one was Men in Black. When it was Johnny Knoxville playing the bug guy, and he was walking around going with the voice, and all the bugs would come out every time he walked. That's what that third one reminded me of. How creepy was that?
What was the first one? Was the donkey coming out of the
woods? I'll replay it. The last clip I did not see. I just downloaded it, and I guess I thought it was finished.
The second one of that clip, I thought that was. For that one, total bullshit on that one.
Yeah, but
I saw that clip.
One was a normal deer. I'm sorry, but let's play it again, you guys. And
I think they were talking about the deer running away and then coming back as a donkey or something. I wasn't sure what they did with that first one. What that one was
maybe
about.
I don't know. It was
I thought what that was about. Yeah, because I was confused on that one myself.
Okay, so hang on. We'll take Howie's comment off. Wow, I'm having major deja vu at the moment with the show. Well, share if you're comfortable, Howie. Okay, let's play it again. And okay, so and you guys see what you think.
Nope.
How you doing? I'm gonna rewind it. Sorry, it went too far. Hang on. Okay, go back. No, you don't want to go back with my finger. I got to use the pointer. Fine. Okay, we're at the beginning.
3 videos showing alleged skinwalkers. WTF, dear.
It just goes by you.
Of the willow tree
Yeah, that's just sick.
Yeah. I don't understand what they're.
Nope.
How you doing? Just some cruisers, man.
Johnny Knoxville, bug guy from
That's shit. This guy's crawling at me like it's goddamn.
That's a creeper.
What's up, dude?
Let me fight you and make a meal out of you.
That ain't no buck.
This is creepy.
I thought I seen a big buck or something. Wait, stop right there. What is that? Is that a buck? What is that? Dude, that's a wait a second. I think I see a.
That was creepy. Now that I might have given
3 videos showing alleged skinwalker.
That last one I might call skinwalker because that did look like an animal and then it morphed into something humanoid looking. Howie says alien. And Dem Rogers says, hang on, I have seen that deer that were injured by a car and survived and their bones healed wrong. It's sad. I don't think that second animal is a deer. I think it's a donkey. Like when you see it up close.
Well, it might have been. I think what the video was trying to show was they're seeing a deer run, like the deer is running around in circles and turns itself into a donkey.
It wasn't even the same color. Like the same time of day.
Understand. Yeah. And the second one, I mean, I've saw that second one a million times, and personally, I'm sorry to put a damper on it, but I have zero belief in it. And I wondered about that one too. One, that's another one. You need more context. If that was true, somebody would have went to the police department and said, there's a dude down there that looks like a zombie that's got no shirt on, and that would you please go check on him? I mean, there's like normal stuff that happens.
The cops to their death.
Yeah. And then there's like normal stuff there's like things that
those
happen.
Guys are gonna say they're gonna see that dude and go, nope, I don't get paid enough for this one.
Yeah, but who knows? I mean, who knows? There could be some. If all we know is just some. If all we know, I mean, Howie lives in Virginia. I live in North Carolina. We have people like 2 chromosomes away from being idiots from all the drug use and the inbreeding. So we don't know. I mean, there could be something weird with that person too. That's just a normal person. The last one, I couldn't see what you guys are seeing. I just see like a thing standing up.
It's really hard to see because it's dark. These guys think that they have seen a buck in the tall grass. So you see something that looks like an animal, could be a deer, it does. And then all of a sudden, as they're going by, the thing stands up and almost morphs into oh God, I got goosebumps. Almost morphs into something like a human. Oh, come here, you little monkey. You're going to close the computer. I know you are. That was creepy, Dave. That was super creepy.
Yeah, I got the last one I didn't get it from. The first one, the first one, I'm like you. I'm like, that was a freaking donkey. What was that? And then it was a
I already downloaded it, right? Because they said, 3 skinwalkers caught on camera. I go, let's catch a load of this. And then I seen them. I thought, I'm not even going to share this. And then I went to Mr. Creepy Dude there on the third one. And I didn't see the 4th one because I've seen that video with Mr. Creepy Dude doing whatever. That was whatever he was.
I wonder why. I think what it is with Skinwalker is people are using it as a blanket term now.
They are, and it's driving me insane.
It drives me insane too because I don't know the right thing. And the last one, if I did see what I did see, know what it reminded me of? Did you ever see that picture of that famous picture of the rake in the woods? It's like white with the eyes.
Yeah.
That's what I kind of thought I saw.
Yes.
So I can, but you know what?
This is the one. Oh, go ahead. Go ahead.
Oh no, I was trying to think about. I was trying not to be a naysayer on it, but as I'm looking at some of them, my brain always goes to like the middle one. Where's the rest of that video? Right now, the only thing I don't like, and this is for people who do things on the paranormal, to show a really good clip and to show somebody in order to say, hey, this is validation that there is something out there. But instead, a lot of people are making these ones, regurgitating it over and over, and they're making it really hard for the rest of us who are trying to prove something or validate something.
I just went with creepy factor tonight because it's Halloween and I was looking for creepy. Okay, this one we were talking.
It was creepy though.
Okay, about sleeping. We were talking about people and the sleeping stuff earlier. Remember? I think it was young kids.
Yeah.
Okay, you'll hear the context in this one. Actually, she does she's Canadian. I didn't realize this girl. She's on YouTube and it's something top 10s. And she does a lot of creepy stuff. They have like, almost seems like a Canadian BuzzFeed, if you will. But hang on, she'll tell the story.
This is what a nasty case of sleep paralysis can do to you. This woman's husband noticed that she would do weird things in the middle of the night, especially around 3 a.m., aka the witching hour. So he set up cameras, and this is what he caught. If that was me, I'm taking the baby and I'm leaving. I'm sorry. Either she's possessed or she's trying to get the sleep paralysis demon off of her chest. To be determined.
Okay. That was kind of creepy. I don't know if you could see it up close enough or not, Dave, but her face almost looked like it was morphing in the camera. I don't know. It was creepy. But you know what, guys? All our faces could do that while we're sleeping, unless you got a camera that up close to you while you're sleeping, because Howie is right. He goes, I'm so tired of the term witching hour. Yes. I agree. I always say it's like it's 5 o'clock somewhere in the world. Same thing with 3 a.m. It's 3 a.m. somewhere in the world.
3 a.m. someplace.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. for the person. Something about the silence. I've got this whole thing I wrote on it. That was a fun video, if nonetheless. I mean,
I pulled it up because we I didn't talk to Dave about this. I just went through. I was just looking for creepy video,
and that was fun. That was a fun, creepy video. Because
yes, it's important.
Huh?
Oh, what happened here? Sorry, it closed Messenger on me.
Oh,
Why Messenger? Yeah. So go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, I wasn't talking. We just froze it. We just froze it. Everything.
Oh, that happens? That's why you guys. I was gonna put up a background with a green screen, and I thought nope, because it's cloudy. It's trying to snow, not quite, and then it's with the extra bandwidth. If we were going to share stuff, I thought no, we'll be locking up like crazy, so I didn't. I just
there's a lot of glitches in that video, but it was fun. But it was a fun video.
Well, for all we know, this is want to watch the video that he's got some kind of orb evidence.
Yeah, let's watch the Howie video.
We're not getting to ITC tonight. Doesn't mean we can't do it another night, you guys. Doesn't mean it, or even we still got some more Halloween coming up next week anyway. So hang on. I want to make sure I get this. I'll add it to the stage. That's the label it's got. So this is a video that Howie sent. Oh, why is it showing me that? It shouldn't be. Oh, I picked the wrong stream. Sorry, guys. Give me a sec here. Picked the wrong one. Okay. Oh, we got to stop. Hang on, guys. I got to stop. And then we're going to share it again. Sorry about that. I do not understand this. People know I do a podcast Mondays and Thursday nights. And without fail, as of late, everybody messages me during my show. Even my kid just
got a podcast. Yeah,
you know I on Thursday night.
Yeah.
It's like, seriously, dude? Seriously. I should be happy, though. I'm not complaining. I'm glad he called me. Okay, so let's make sure that's where it's supposed to be. No, it's not, because I knew I'd forgotten a button. Oh, same thing to you, Howie. Everybody calls you when you're live, like, and they know when your live show is. They know there's some energy they feel. They just don't know what
Howie,
it is.
I love it. I love it. Howie's got an orb video. Dun, dun, dun. I do like orb videos because I like a good orb video.
That's a pet peeve of mine, orbs. So I know how he knows what a good orb. So, okay.
2014.
This is Plantation House in Powhatan, Virginia. Oh, let me get any bigger. Okay, let me turn it down. I was going to turn it down. There we go. Sorry, guys. I'll go back up in a sec. I want to turn that down just so nobody gets crabby with us. Come on, let me go back up. Oh, it's gonna be a pain in the neck, guys. Sorry, hang on. Oh, I see it. I don't know if they'll be able to see it though, Howie. I can tell you right now. I can see it.
Is that someone with a flashlight down in the hall?
Hard to see.
Huh?
Yeah, right there. He says he can see. I know you know where to look for it though, but some people don't. Not done yet, sweetheart. Thank you.
I see a light flashing in the background. It looks like somebody's turning a flashlight on and off, or it's hitting metal. I see that. I don't see anything at the top of the screen.
Okay,
at all
so Howie says no flash, and no investigators. So this was caught on camera. Interesting.
So am I looking at that little light in the distance?
this right here, right in the background. So was this caught on a static cam, Howie? I'm guessing nobody was in the room, no investigator, no nothing.
I didn't see an orb anywhere, but maybe I just can't see it on my screen.
And the bright one in the middle, I just see this right here is what I see. For people, I'm pointing to the little flashing light at the back. So it was caught on a static cam. Okay. Well, we'll have to go back through and check it out, but that's pretty interesting. Thank you for sending that. We're gonna
I'll look at that. I'll look at that later.
The music here. That was pretty interesting. Okay, Dem Rogers says, I see something at the bottom, then above it. Okay, good. I'm glad you guys could see it because that was the main thing. So you guys could see, because sometimes it's hard on the screen. We are almost out of time. How does this happen? Like, it just, you guys, this is the fastest.
I'm still trying to look at that video because I was looking way down that hallway and I saw a light go on and off. And I thought, is that somebody that's like signaling somebody with a light? And
you have to check it out, Dave. We got like minutes, like 2 minutes to get out of here. So we got to.
I'll have to look at it later. Anyway, you guys, happy Halloween. Maybe next Thursday we'll try doing something else again. The stuff that we get at that, what is that called? That Ghost Spirit Box or whatever.
Yeah, we could do it next week.
Yeah, we could do it next Thursday. But anyway, if anybody wants to get a hold of me, they can go to my website, theywhispertome.com. You can look for me on TikTok or Instagram at Medium David Hanzel. You can look for me at YouTube and Facebook at The Spirit Experience. Go right ahead, Lorilei.
And Howie said, if you want to see the video more up close, you can check it out on YouTube under A.S. and Sam P.
I'm going to look at it after this.
Hyphen paranormal to see the videos. Sorry, Dave, what were you saying?
I'm going to check it out after.
Okay. And if you guys are enjoying the paranormal, hang around. Second night of the Outer Realm with Michelle DeRoche and Amelia Pisano coming up next. Do not forget Angel Rock next week, Monday, 6 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Halloweeny show. We're having Varla Ventura on. And then Halloween night, it's the UFO Paranormal Radio Network host Halloween panel. We're trying to get most of the hosts there. It's going to start at 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It is always a ton of fun. Get to talk all things spooky, have fun with y'all. It's going to be a great time. So I'm going to actually put us out with our commercial for that. But before I let you go, also, if you ever want to get a hold of me, you can get a hold of me on facebook.com/The Angel Rock. You got a guest suggestion, show idea. I also do paid readings. I offer free paranormal help. I also do energy healing and mentoring. And I have 2 groups on Facebook, Paranormal University for all things paranormal, and the Angel Rocket Tribe for more spiritual type things. Happy anniversary weekend to you, Howie. Everybody have a great weekend. Happy Halloween, people are saying. So we love y'all. Thank you so much. You guys make this show what it is, and we love and appreciate you all so much. So thank you, thank you, thank you. So Dave, shall we try and say our thing that we say, and then I'll hit the promo?
Got it. Ready?
Okay. Stay spooky. Stay spooky first.
1, 2, 3. What's at the foot of your bed?
Darn it! One of these days. One of these days. All right, guys. I'll see you on Monday. We'll see you on Tuesday, too, if you can be there. And definitely next Thursday. Okay. Love y'all. Have a great weekend.